2020 UniDillard. Let's check it out here, boys. Doing a little comparison video between the 2020 UniDillard and the previous year's UniDillard track in this game, just to kind of see what we got going on with that. So, okay, what I've seen so far with most of these tracks, comparing them to last year's Pro Motocross DLC, it seems like they're not changing a whole lot. They're just doing like little pre-made rut changes and a few little roughness changes and things like that, but nothing that's gonna, shock you or anything, that's for sure. So yeah, let's see what we got. So this track is kind of going a little bit more down the narrow vibe, which is cool. That's my biggest thing I've always said about these tracks, whether it's on MX Simulator or whatever. You just got to have variation in a sense to it, right? You don't want to totally change the way you don't want to make each track feel like it's from a completely different year in one series, but at the same time, if it's like mainly built with pre-made, you can do a lot of different stuff to make each individual track feel completely different and feel unique and have character to it. And, there's a lot of different things you can do with these tracks, and them making this one track in particular just a little more narrow than some of the other ones definitely gives it some character. You don't want to go too far, you don't want to make them too different, and you don't want to be going from like super crazy pre-made to no pre-made and then back to super crazy pre-made. You got to find a little bit of it's kind of, I know it sounds so like back and forth, and it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense when I'm saying you have to be consistent, but at the same time, you have to vary it. I know that sounds like stupid, but you got to understand what I'm saying. There's scales and levels to that, right? Like, you don't want to go too far different, but you need to be making each track feel different. You don't want every track to just feel like the same track, right? So there's just a balance to the whole thing, man. Like, there really is. Okay. So decent dirt vibe going on here. I like the look of the dirt. Got a lot of different variable. Just the overall like ground decal looks really different in some areas, and definitely gives you the UniDillard feeling, right? This whole section right here definitely gives you that tight little. I know this one in particular little section that feels really, really good for the UniDillard section. So. Got some ruts developing. Oh, Spence. Oh, dog. Calm down. Okay. Finish line. Okay. There we go. Yeah, man, I'm just now. Oh, my God. Let me wreck again right quick. Oh, Karen. Karen's out there giving me the fist pump. Oh, yeah, dog. Yeah, I'm just now getting like everything set up in my new place. I got the green screen ordered. Man, damn, things just take time. It's crazy. Like, it's almost been here in like another week or so. It will have been a month since I've been moved into the new place. But like, it just takes time to get everything going again and get everything set up, and just takes time to get in a routine, get everything kind of making the videos you want to, and getting all of my different consoles that I play different games on and all that kind of crap set up, and green screens and face cams and everything behind me in the room that I'm in. And it's just like, it's a whole thing, dog. It's a whole thing, but we'll get it going. We will get it going for sure, dude. So yeah, so that's a look at the new UniDillard track. Let's take a quick little peek at the year before just to see if we can compare a little bit. There might be one new section on this one, I don't know, which is interesting because you guys know they're only doing 9 rounds this year in the actual real life and the actual real life pro Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, right? And one of those rounds is Loretta Lynn's, and 2 of those rounds are Red Bud. So, I don't know, like, I haven't really looked at it too deep. I don't know if they're actually going to be even going to UniDillard this year, but obviously there's going to be, a good handful of rounds that they normally go to that they're not going to be going to this year. So, okay. Let's see what we can, which is interesting because these are technically 2020 replica tracks, you know what I mean? So, but just kind of just one of those comes with the crazy times type deal, right? So that did seem like there was a little bit more of a lip on the landing of that jump there before. I think this ground decal is like maybe a little darker than that newer one. something. I mean, definitely ground decal looks a little bit different to me. It could just be the time of day difference. But are these ruts right here just like a smidge bigger maybe on the 2021? That jump right there might be a smidge more peaked. It's just all little stuff, right? It's all little changes. It's nothing that, you know, is going to be like wipe out there, Spence. It's nothing that's going to be like a huge change. I just don't think it's going to be like that for any of these tracks when you try to compare them back to the previous year, which is understandable to a certain extent, you know, it is. But what I like to have seen, you know, somewhat of more differences within, you know, there's a lot of their tracks from last year that literally have the exact same like rut placement, exact same pre-made roughness placement as their newer 2020 replica tracks. Some of that can definitely be a little bit like, okay, like you got to change this up at least a little bit. Even if you're still running basically off of the same kind of track map, like you got to change this thing up just a little bit. Did they smooth those ruts off? I almost think so. On the newer one, I think they actually smoothed those out a little bit or something because they were crazy on this track back last year when this track first came out. Those ruts going up, that almost like reminds me of a road on MX Simulator, like super deep, janked out, spliced terrain, you know. It's cool to see it on one track of the MX vs. ATV All Out Pro Motocross series, though. I thought that was a cool little touch on this track. So, yeah, just kind of another one of those. I can't really just tell too much of a difference right off the top of my head. I'm sure some of you guys that really rode a bunch on those last year's replica tracks might be able to really tell more of a difference, but I think for your average person that, you know, plays these games, they're not going to notice much of a difference in any of these tracks. Like, yeah, Loretta's had a couple jumps that were a little different, but other than that, it is very, very similar. So it just kind of comes into that deal where, like, if you didn't buy last year's DLC, you're just getting basically the tracks that they got last year. But it does kind of start to get into that realm of, like, why do you have a whole nother year version of it if it's basically just the same track? You know, you kind of teeter-totter on that a little bit. But, yeah. Whoa! Them damn killer SpongeBobs will come out and attack you every once in a while, bro. But, yeah, either way, just letting you guys know as well, if you want to get in my Discord, all you got to do is DM me on Instagram at Spencer Turley, no spaces and no capital letters, and I will get you in there on my Discord. I'm going to start getting on there a lot more as well. Just been kind of getting all that set up again, too. So, yeah, man, this thing's just getting going. We got a lot of new face cam with green screen type videos going to be coming up with the live streams. We getting it going, bro. We getting it going. I know it sounds like I've just been saying that for a minute, but, like, I've been making a lot of big life decisions over the past, 2 or 3 months to be able to do this. So you will see what I'm talking about soon. You'll see it, bro. You'll see it. So let's go back to that. Let's run one more lap on that new one again just to get a little bit of a comparison. One more lap on the new one again. Just want to take another quick look at it just to make sure I didn't miss anything big. I don't think I did. There might have been that one section that was different. Oh my God. And then of course you get like a crazy different time of day effect, so then you can't compare anything. Good one, MX vs. ATV. Good one, Doug. Okay. It's a cool time of day effect. I'm not hating on it in itself, but I just wish we were able to choose. But either way. So, yeah, dude, that, like, changes everything. Like, it changes the way the ruts look. It changes the way everything looks when you change the time of day that drastically like that. This is like a way early morning practice session or some shit going on here. So, these ruts might be a little... Oh, yeah, look at that. I guess those ruts right there in that corner were kind of... They were smaller, and there was like 4 of them on the track before, whereas this one looks like they kind of made it a little, like just 3 bigger berm-style ruts there instead of... So they definitely have like changed up the pre-made rut design a little bit here for sure. But, and I think there might be that one section that's a little bit different. Is this rut? That rut right there seems a little bigger than the previous year. So it's just... you know, it's just a bunch of kind of small pre-made changes. That's all I can really take from it, I guess. Dude, there's like a whole fog effect going on. Like, oh my God. This is a whole vibe right here, boys. A whole vibe. Okay. Let's see. Fly our asses over this jump. Throw her fatty. All right. And then this. Yeah, you can kind of jump to right there. Okay, let's take a look at this. Yeah, so they definitely smoothed these ruts out right here in particular, for sure. It's like they went in there on the... It cracks me up because it's like they just went in there on the track editor and just hit smooth on that shit real quick, dog. Cracks me up, dude. Because it was insane ruts on that section on the 19 one, for sure. Yeah, is this section the same? Almost think that this whole area right here might be a actual new little section to it, but I'm not sure 100% on that. But either way, this is the new UniDillard. So, oh my God, the ruts. You can definitely see those ruts when it's this time of day. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, man, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes. Hey, bells.